Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen Video aus The Clueless Drinker. And I do apologise to my German language viewers and subscribers for my terrible, not only terrible German accent, but more importantly, my terrible German. You'd have thought that spending 4 years in Germany, I would have a better grasp on the language. But alas, I am an ignorant, patriotic Britishman at heart, which is a complete lie because, yeah, I'm going to turn this around because I'm looking a bit too camp with that. So I was trying to look like a good old-fashioned Bavarian farmhand, but no, I just look a bit big gay owl, to be honest. Yeah, German beer. Ich liebe es. Deutsches Bier ist mein bestes Bier. That's, again, not correct, but yeah, just German beer. Ich trinks Bier, du trinkst Bier. For all the Rocket Beans fans out there, which is a bit of an obscure reference for some of my English language viewers. But yeah, in all seriousness though, bad Denglish aside, I think you know by now, if you're a regular viewer, how much I absolutely adore not only German beer and brewing culture, but Germany as a whole. I spent 4 of the best years of my life in that country, and 7 of the best years of my life with one of its children. Didn't end too well, but to be honest, my experiences in Germany, hashtag real talk, shaped me and shaped me as a person. I really feel like that. It's just made me appreciate little things even more. I miss Germany so much. I miss the people who I left behind, and of course, I miss the brewing culture and some of the fantastic beers. I mean, I know most countries and territories, they have their traditional cultures and then they have a burgeoning craft beer scene. But for me, I just think Germany has one of the most fruitful brewing histories, as well as one of the most exciting and immersive contemporary sort of scenes. And not only that, but the country itself is beautiful. The food, I miss Germany a hell of a lot, and it's coming up to a year since I had to return to the UK, and coming back to a small town in the northwest England, it's just made me yearn to do more. Do you know what I mean? Although I don't really think I'm in the best situation now, I think I've grown so much as a person, and I've got Germany to thank for that. So, joking aside, this is going to be dedicated to all the beautiful people who I got to meet while I was over there. And of course, I'm dedicating this to you guys who watch me on a regular basis, who support the channel, who have been with me since day one, the newcomers, the people who comment on a regular basis. I know I'm terrible at getting back to comments, but I really do appreciate each and every like, view, share, comment, subscription, the friendships that I have forged through beer alone. It makes it almost as well, yeah, it makes it more rewarding than the beers. Do you know what I mean? I've got to meet so many fantastic people. I've had so many great opportunities, and at its heart, I definitely believe my time in Germany has contributed to that. Waking up in Germany, going to sleep in Germany, getting to see the country, getting to see the local side of it. It's part of me, and it will live on in mein Herz. And yeah, so ich habe ein deutsches Bier für euch. And I will stop speaking broken German because I genuinely don't want to cause any offence to any German language viewers, because I love you guys. Do you know what I mean? I genuinely love you guys. And one of the big things that I do miss about Germany is the brewing culture. You look at the culture here in the UK, yeah, we've got like a really good craft beer scene. We've got a nice traditional scene. but we just don't treat beer fundamentally the same way as a lot of other countries do. We don't show it the respect. I mean, a Helles beer in Germany can be savoured. Yeah, you can walk around the streets, you can drink it to high heaven, you can buy cases of it for your parties. But like the lager drinking culture of Germany specifically is so much more respectful than what we have here in the UK. Chances are, if you're in Germany and you see someone going about their daily business, having a beer in the streets just as they're going to the shop or whatever, you know, they're respecting that. But you see someone drinking like a bottle of beer on the streets in the UK, chances are there's something, without being too judgmental of course, there might be something a little bit suspicious about that person. We just don't seem to appreciate it outside of the beer drinking circles. As a whole, we don't treat it with the respect that it deserves. And what do we have? We've got fucking Carling. We've got... who else have we got? I can't even think of any more British lagers. You know, we get these really terrible, gassy, soulless lagers, which are okay for the right situation. But give me a traditionally brewed Helles beer on my walk to wherever I'm going any day. Do you know what I mean? I can actually appreciate that. And this is one of those beers, because I have had this a few times before. I might have actually reviewed it on the channel. And even if I have, I'm going to review it again. Because a big part of the Clueless Drinkers channel is German craft beer. That's at my backbone. I think you'll find most of my beer reviews have been German. And when I first came back to the UK, I was really lacking on keeping that up. But now that I'm in a little bit of a better financial situation and my head's in a better place, I can actually, you know, yeah, I'm going to pay that a little bit extra for this bottle of German lager, you know, that I remember really enjoying back in Germany, even though I could buy it for less than €1 in the supermarket. But you know what? You could get some really great German lagers. I mean, you could get Warsteiner in the supermarkets now. That in itself is a fantastic beer, where you can get like a 660ml bottle for less than £2. Are you kidding me? Give me that over, you know, like a bottle of Budweiser any day, or a bottle of Carling or Carlsberg. You know, I do enjoy Carlsberg every now and then. But anyway, I'm rambling on. It's going to be one of those beer ramble sorts of videos, I think. And spoiler alert, I will overly romanticise this beer. I will overly romanticise Germany and the brewing culture, and it might get a little bit soppy. So buckle in, and I hope you enjoyed the review nonetheless. So, we're sticking in Bavaria, and we are going to the Herzoglich Bayerisches Brauhaus Tegernsee, and we're looking at a bottle of their Spezial, which is clocking in at 5.6% ABV, and yeah, Herzoglich Bayerisches Brauhaus Tegernsee in Tegernseer. And of course the Helles beer is really quite popular here in the UK, and the Pilsner is actually one of the favourite beers of Paul from Cloudwater, a brewery who I think really appreciates the art form of brewing a lager, which I think a lot more craft breweries should embrace, because a German lager, to me, a really nicely brewed one, stands up to even the whitest of Wales that's been imported through a trade from some guy in the States. Do you know what I mean? I would much rather enjoy a good Helles beer than like the latest double dry hopped IPA cryo hop thingy coming out of like some bathtub in Michigan that's been hyped up to high heaven. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to drink that beer, because that beer is probably going to taste absolutely phenomenal. But a good traditionally brewed Helles lager, or Dunkelbier, or Doppelbock, or Schwarzbier, or even a Weissbier. You know, I'm not a big fan of the style, but a good German brewed wheat beer is fantastic. You know, you've got Rauch beers, Gozers. Just, I could just gush about German beer. I really could, and I have done plenty of times on the channel. So we've got a bottle of the Spezial, which looks absolutely fantastic in the bottle. There is the Tegernseer beer crown as well. So, yeah, I think this is just a little bit maltier than the regular Helles beer. Would this be classed as a Dortmunder then, or something like an export beer? Even though I think the brewery does a specific export beer. Anyway, let's just pour it into the beer stein, which is one of my favourite pieces of glassware, which I don't get to use too often. But yeah, we're not going to get it all in at once. Terrible pour, but yeah, it's crisp as you like, it's clean, it's got a real sense of purity to it, lovely gentle carbonation. That's a really pale beer, pale golden, but just looks absolutely wonderful. And the beer poured with about 3 fingers worth of an ever so slightly off-white head. But yeah, it just looks fantastic, doesn't it? Some people say, oh, it's a little bit pale. I don't care. I love the look of these beers. So let's see what we get on the nose. It's got a very subtle sweet malt character. A little bit of grassiness. It's quite leafy as well. Then you get that sort of like musky, malty character. But yeah, it's so crisp. It's got like a smell of crispness, do you know what I mean? But yeah, those malts are really singing actually. Yeah, it's got this like caramel sweetness coming through. A lovely earthy hop characters, a little bit grainy. It just smells accessible and simple. It's simple brewing, you know, it's brewing at its most pure, if you get what I mean. See, in Germany, you don't see fucking yobbos driving on quad bikes in back alleys where children could be playing. Pro tip there. Anyway, can you see why I hate being back in England? Really? Anyway, let's get back to the beer, much more important. And it's got a little bit darker in here. But yeah, it still looks fantastic, even if the video is a little bit grainy. I do apologise about the quality. Anyway, looks good, smells good. Let's give it a taste. Prost. I'm just instantly taken back to Germany. Do you know what I mean? I told you I was going to overly romanticise this beer. And that's just from the first taste. It's got this lovely sweetness to it, which isn't too sickly, and it's not too syrupy like some of the sweetness you can get in these lagers. It's a little bit maltier than the regular Helles beer, but it's just as crisp. It's just as clean. It's got a little bit of graininess, a little bit of earthiness from those hops. It's so light in body, it's so drinkable. You can just taste the quality and the care in this beer. It's not going to blow your socks off. The style isn't designed to do that. It's just simple, high quality brewing that has stood the test of time for me personally. It's just one of those beers where you would happily have like a pack of 14 just to pick up out the fridge. You know, perfect beer to have after a long day's work. Perfect beer to have with your lunch or any sort of food. It's a perfect Brotzeit beer, so you've got some nice cured hams, you've got some cheeses, you've got different sorts of breads and buns. You know, it's perfect for that sort of stuff. You could have a couple of this on your lunch break, a couple of these on your lunch break, and then go back to work. And you know, you're not going to be. I mean, if you drink too many and get a bit carried away, you're going to feel it. But yeah, it's just so satisfying and drinkable. It's faultless. It's faultless brewing for me. Many people say, oh, it's boring, it's just a lager. If you're one of those people, then I think you've got to really, really experience this style. Not just from Germany. Go all around the world and try their sort of lagers. Do you know what I mean? I think it's only recently that lagers are starting to get the appreciation they deserve. Chances are some of the head brewers at some of your favourite like hype craft breweries, they love beers like this. Go back to Cloudwater, their Hellas Mandarina lager beer was just, it was beautiful. It was like one of the best Hellas beers that I've had outside of Germany. It was just so brewed to style. It hit all the right boxes. It ticked all the right boxes, hit all the right notes. Lost and Grounded, they respect these classic styles as well. And with lagers in the UK, when it comes to craft breweries, we have this sort of tendency to just completely obliterate them with hops. And I've gone on about it before, but it's like, why would you do that? What is wrong with just a simple, honest beer? Why does it have to have all of these additions? Why does it have to stray so far left field? Why does it have to, like, stand out amongst the rest? I would love to see in the UK just breweries come together and they all brew the same beer to the same recipe with maybe some slight different tweaks, you know, without like adding, you know, you don't have to double dry hop it, you don't have to turn it into an IPL, you know. I mean, I'd love to see Cloudwater team up with Tegernseer and do a Doppelbock, just a simple basic Doppelbock, and then maybe do one batch with a little bit of a Cloudwater twist to it and then release them side by side. You know, I'd love to see more British breweries do this because the passion in those breweries is there for these classic styles of beer. And I think there's nothing wrong with a brewery just thinking, do you know what we're going to do? We're just going to brew a very simple, basic Hellas beer, but we're going to do it well. We're going to have it authentic. We might add our little twist to it, but we just want a simple Hellas beer. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that at all. And I know that I'm preaching to the choir as well, because there are so many people who do enjoy these sorts of beers. And I could just drink this every day. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to drink it to excess. I could have maybe one of these after my dinner or with my tea. That's it. I don't need to think, oh, do you know what, I need to get pissed on this. I can if I want to, but I just want to appreciate it. I just want to take my time with it. Yeah, it might get a little bit warm towards the end, but I don't care. Because I love these sorts of beers. And they transport me back to Germany. You know, you can smell, like, that, as pretentious as this sounds, in Regensburg, you can feel the breeze from the Donau running through Regensburg. You can hear the people in the background sat on the edge of the canal, just having a little bit of a chill after they've been to uni. You know, and you can hear, like, the hustle and bustle of some of the restaurants. And then as you're walking home, you get yourself, you know, because Regensburg has, I think they've got the oldest sausage in Germany. I think it's something along those lines, or in Bavaria, where you could get a nice bun, a couple of sausages, a bit of sauerkraut, nice little snack for your walk home, or to accompany a beer. Sat in a beer garden, you get yourself some, you know, it's very stereotypical, I know, but it's so perfect at the same time. And it's, again, the beer accompanying the situation and matching the situation and going with the company that you keep. And in that instance, it's more than just the beer. It's more than just an alcoholic beverage. It's a way to get people together and, you know, having a good time. And it just ties in that experience together. I mean, can you think of anything better, really, than good beer, good food, and even better company? What more could you ask for on an evening like this. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's coming towards the middle of June. You know, it's still light outside. It's a little bit cooler. I just want to be sat outside with the people who I love, with a case of this, just seeing where the night takes us. Not getting too messy. Not getting on it. You know, not thinking, oh, we need to drink before we go out when we drink. And I think British drinking culture, although we do have a really prominent craft beer scene and real ale scene, and we are respecting our heritage, we do get overshadowed. I mean, you look at all these documentaries of like nights out in Blackpool, and there's people like naked on the streets in their own vomit and kebab meat. Which again, I've seen that happen in Germany. Do you know? I'm not like trying to put Germany on this pedestal or anything like that, but you just see it so much more here. And people find lagers as a way to just, let's get absolutely ratted. And it's like, you've not even gone out yet, and you've already sunk like a 12-pack of Coors Light. And now you're going to go into town and you're going to drink overpriced, you know, shitty beer, overpriced spirits. And what for, when you can have a few bottles, pay a little bit extra. In the UK, of course, if you go to Germany, you know, you're paying like much less than €1 for that beer. I saw that for like 80 cents in a lot of places in Geschenkmärkte or Märkte. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I love it. I absolutely love it, and I don't care if I make 20-plus-minute videos on stuff like this. This is part of me. Do you know what I mean? And I've got to share moments like this with so many great people who I've met through a simple alcoholic beverage in a glass. And, you know, I don't really get to talk too much about this sort of stuff with people, you know, close to me. So when I get the chance to sit in front of the camera and talk to you guys, talk to people who know what I'm talking about, who can relate, who can come back with something to add to the conversation, it means a lot. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, German beer will always have a place in its heart with me personally, and especially when the beers like this are available. 10 out of 10. It really, really is. Definitely one to check out if you haven't done so already. Go to your local bottle shop that's got a nice little supply of international beer, and if they've got that, pick yourself up a couple of bottles and any other German lagers that you see, because you're going to have a very satisfying and solid drinking experience. Anyway, went on a little bit there. Didn't mean to. Do apologise. So yeah, that's Tegernseer Spezial. I'm just going to call it that. 10 out of 10. Beautiful beer. Check out my German beer playlist. Check out my lager playlist. Check out the brewery. If any of my friends and fellow beer tubers have reviewed this one, then their links are down below. And yeah, to the people of Germany, ich liebe euch. And to the guys and girls watching these videos and putting up with me talking absolute nonsense, I love you all too. And yeah, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this beer, and then try and get back in touch with some people who are left behind in Germany, because I need a catch up and I need to organise my next visit. So here's to the next time, and here's to more German beers. Vielen Dank, Prost und auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.